This project's an upper class residential housing project for 132 students. This is part 2 of a 2-phase project that we did for Bowdoin College. And really the initiative for the project was trying to get students back on campus. That was the problem that they had that we were trying to solve. Students were moving off campus because they didn't have the types of housing that they were looking for on campus. Looking for apartment style, more independence, single bedrooms. So what they were looking for was a vibrant residential community, one where students would engage with one another, support one another, create a community of respect and discourse, right? And sort of engaging place.
So we spoke at length with the students and staff about what feels like home. What are these elements that contribute to a home-like feel? And one part being very familiar shapes of a gable roof. And we ended up using that was the shape that we proceeded with on the exterior.
One of the most successful aspects of the design was our ability to create a layer of spaces in one space. So we centered the design around what we've called the common space or the hub, the heart of the building, and that space was what really drove the design for us.
My favorite aspects is the Village in the Woods theme and how the team executed on that. I really feel when you're there, it feels like a village in the woods. And I think, when talking to our client about what are their favorite attributes or what do they feel, they describe how it feels like you're on your own piece of campus over there. And I think to me, that sort of speaks to that we accomplished the Village in the Woods.
When we designed with well-being in mind for the space, we really thought about how each of those students felt being within the space. And I think that daylighting was one of the most important aspects of it. Regardless of where you are within that building, you always have a view to the exterior, a connection to nature, which I think just always makes people feel invigorated and awake and just excited to be there. The way that all of our spaces were laid out is all of the bedrooms were kept in a more remote location from the central hub. So if there was a party going on, something like that, they would be more separated. So it was really that graduation of space where we had the most public, then you kind of had your kitchen and your living space, and then that progressed into all of the bedrooms.
So you have your levels of community within your one dorm, but then it extends even further as you look out into the common green and you have your two other dorms that are connected on the central green. So you can choose how invested you want to be into your small personal community or the overall community that's laid out on Harpswell. And what's also really beautiful is we've sided the buildings so that the buildings in the green all face towards Bowdoin College so that you are still protected. Even though you're on the periphery, you're still protected in the Bowdoin campus.
So coming up the heels of Park Row, we had set the bar pretty high for ourselves with regard to energy performance, but we still were able to learn a lot from that project and take it to this project. So we had walls that were R38, triple pane windows, R60 roof, and we achieved an air tightness of 0.04 CFM at 50 Pascal, which is really, really tight, especially considering the amount of exterior surface area that we had. And so that equated to a EUI of 21, which is incredibly high performing. Critical team members were Chris Robat, Christina Mellor, and Courtney Carrier. I'd like to thank Bowdoin, Matt, Don, Ben, Lisa, Mike. And there's so many people, Keisha, that helped us on this project. The committee was a huge influence in the way that the project came out, and it's the reason that it came out so well. Also would like to thank Thornton Tomasetti, who is structural as well as sustainability consultant on the job. Risfrost Shumway were the MEP engineers. Also would like to thank Stimson, who are the landscape architects.